Well, if you're stressed out about tonight, you are not the only one. New tonight, here on The Current, a new survey from the American Psychological Association found that nearly 70% of American adults feel the same way.
But how do you deal with all of that stress? For that, we turn to Dr. Jacob Priest, Associate Professor and Director of the Couple and Family Therapy Program at the University of Iowa. Thanks so much for joining us. When we talk about election stress, maybe this is a silly question, but what are people actually stressed out about?
Well, I think most of the stress comes because we don't have a sense of control. We can do what we can do, which is vote and encourage our friends and family to vote. But overall, we don't have control over the outcome or when we'll know the outcome.
So, what are some tips that you might have, Jacob, about limiting our political information intake while also staying connected and staying in the loop?
Yeah, right. Like you all probably don't want me to tell your viewers that they should turn off coverage for a little while, but that's what I would recommend. We're going to get a lot of information and a lot of things shifting and changing as the night, tomorrow, the week wears on. Who knows when we'll get the results? So it's going to be really good to set a boundary around paying attention and also doing other things that are going to distract us or help us connect with people, right? Something as simple as like going for a walk or calling a friend, reading a book, playing a board game, watching something that is not politically related can really help us disconnect for a little while, which allows us to re-engage in a healthier way.
Okay, another maybe silly question, but I have to ask, how does social media play into all of that?
Well, distraction can be a great coping technique for stress, but for many of us, it's our only coping technique because when we're stressed out, we grab our phones and we start scrolling, right? But especially during an election, election week, we're going to have a lot of information that is going to find its way into our social media feeds. And so if that's the only way we have to distract ourselves, it's probably not going to be very distracting. It can increase our stress, our anxiety even more. So take a break from it too. If you got to do something on your phone, look at pictures you've taken, play a game on your phone, do something that will give your brain time to disconnect from all the information that'll be coming your way.
You talked about calling a friend. I imagine that's helpful when it is a friend that perhaps we agree with, but there are folks in our lives that we probably disagree with. How do we handle those conversations and not let those conversations and those interactions stress us out further?
Right. I've heard a lot of people talk about like, hey, I can't talk to people that I don't agree with. And as a therapist, I like to push back about that. The way we create better communities, a better country is actually engaging the people that we disagree with. Now, we have to do that in the right time and the right way. And maybe on election night, that's not the time to do it. But I think we do need to create a way, especially for the people that we're close to talk across differences, because that can help us better understand each other and be hopefully over time less polarized, less, stressed out about our political climate. So there
Jacob,
are times when you want to put boundaries around those conversations and say, hey, I'll talk to you about politics maybe in the next few weeks or so, and maybe not tonight. But having those conversations and having them well, I think is important.
Jacob, in the few seconds we have left, really quickly, how about kids? What can parents do when this stress trickles down to their children?
Yeah, right. Parents need to be there for kids. And so that starts by parents taking care of themselves, right? Creating that space for social media so they can have additional emotional space to talk to their kids, right? And to talk to their kids at an age appropriate level. Depending on how old your kids are, they might want or need more information than if you've got, younger kids. So being able to talk about that, but taking care of yourself so you can have meaningful, safe conversations with your kids is really important.
Jacob, thank you so much for your time today. We really appreciate this.
Thank you.